task, we need to install httpd web server on all app servers, and we need to configure port 8080 to be served. And then we can do this by manually or as part of Jenkins job as well. Then once we're done with that, we need to create this Jenkins job. So if you log into Jenkins, go to manage Jenkins and then plugins, available plugins, look for Git client as well, and then click on install, and then check this button to restart. Well, we can get into Jenkins server with this password. We are in. So what we are going to do now, we are going to configure passwordless authentication from Jenkins server to storage server. And then if you get into a storage server, this storage server, this var www.html directory mounted to all of the app servers at the same directory location. So we can check that as well. First we enable this passwordless authentication, and then we get into each app server, and then we install httpd. So if you click on this app now, it's not gonna work. It says 503 service unavailable. Run the command sshkeygen to generate a key pair. Then if you do ls-l now with the .sh folder, now you can see one public and private file. So we are going to copy this public file to our storage server. So the command ssh copy id to username is Natasha, stst was 01, and then put the password. It's been done. We can check that. If you remove this part, now we were able to connect without password. So let's exit from this one, and then what we need to do now, we need to get into each app server. So that's ssh Tony stf01, and then put the password. We need to install httpd, so that's a system level chain, so we need to be a sudo user. Now run the command install, that's httpd -y. It's been installed. Now we need to change it httpd default port, so that's /etc httpd and conf, then /httpd.conf. So we need to make changes in this folder, so this file. Look for listen with capital L. So it's by default it serves on port 80. We need to change this port. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use command set -i and then substitute. I'm gonna look for listen space 80, and then I'm gonna replace it with listen 8080 at the port number. So this 8080, and then we need to put /g, that's a global, and file path conf /httpd.conf. So if you check it now, it's been replaced with 8080. So I'm just gonna put this command aside, and then we are going to run the command systemctl enable httpd, and then systemctl start httpd. Just gonna copy this command. That's fine. Systemctl start httpd. Oh, sorry, my bad, it's typo. It's systemctl. Okay, the reason when you run that command a couple of times, then that's been messed up, I think. Let me open this one. I'm sorry, not this one. Look for listen. Yeah, it's been added multiple times, so I'm just gonna, that's been done now. Now systemctl restart httpd. So let's do the same thing for app server 2 as well. So I'm gonna run this command be sudo user. Now run this command to install and configure. Let me open another terminal. Let's connect it to app server 3. You can use SSH and then sudo su. Now run this to install and change the port and then start. So this has been done now. If you refresh it, now you can see that. So it's been updated. And then let's restart this Jenkins. Okay, it's been restarted. Let's put the password. Go to dashboard. So we are done with this installation and everything on our app servers. Now what we need to do, we need to create this job. Create job. Freestyle. If you click on this Gitea, username is Sarah, password is Sarah underscore pass123 with capital S. That's been. So we need to clone this. So if we go to this job, let's click on Git and then gives the URL. We don't need any credentials. That's a public repo. And then we are going to look for master branch. And then I'm gonna use poll SCM. So what poll SCM does basically, it looks for changes in the code remote repository every second. If it fetches any changes, it's gonna build it. If it doesn't fetch any changes, it's not gonna build it. But if you build periodically, regardless of the changes, it's gonna build it. So that's the difference. So I'm gonna go with poll SCM, and then I'm going to run command. So we are running this as a Jenkins user. So we already set up Jenkins to storage server passwordless authentication. So I'd like to show you the mount part as well. I forgot to do that. So if we are in one of our app servers, if you run the command mount, you can get all of these. And then if you pipe it with grep /var www and html, you can see that this directory is mounted with this block device. So that's from storage server. So if you update something in storage server, you're gonna see that. So for instance, okay, let me exit from here, exit again, search to storage server, Natasha, STST was 01. Let me sudo user. So if I go to var www html, if I try to change this, so now you can see Maduka. So it's getting from app servers, but this part is coming from this storage server. So that's we need to do it. So SCP, I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna put R, and then everything that's from current directory, and I'm gonna put a dot and star slash and star, that's everything from the current directory, and then I'm gonna copy it to where, so that's on Natasha stst.war01 var www html, this location, and then save it. Come back to this storage server. If you run the command lsfnl, you can see index is owned by Sarah. If you go back a directory up, if you run the command lsfnl, so this is html been owned by root and root. So if you run it, it's gonna fail because we are running this setup as a Natasha user. So you can see it here from Jenkins to this one, we set it up as Natasha because we use Natasha for that. So if you run this job, now you get an error. So it's gonna say that permission denied on this directory. So we are going to make the owner of this directory to Natasha, and then on this directory. So I put -r, that means inside everything inside the directory is owned by Natasha. So now you can check it. Now if you rerun it, before that if I refresh it, it's Madhukar now. So once you build it, it's been successful. You can check the console output as well. Now if you refresh it, it says welcome. So once you do this, what you need to do, you need to access into storage server with username Sarah, and then that repository has been cloned at this directory. So if I exit ssh server at the stst.war01 and then password, okay, if you do pwd, you're in the home directory, you look for web. Now you can see this. If we check it, it just has welcome. If you run the command git status, nothing in there. If you run the command git branch, it's fine. If you run git remote -v, now you can see this remote repository. So if you push it, it's gonna come, it will be updated here, but it seems it's been already updated. But just try to push it, git push origin main, sorry, it's origin master. So it says everything is up to date. So we need to update its content. So we just update this content to this one. So I'm just gonna use cat command. You can use vi if you want. No, anything, doesn't matter. If you run git status now, okay, now add it and then commit it. This is just a standard git workflow. Update index and then push it, git push origin master. So once you push it, now this job will be triggered because we set poll SCM. Let's wait for a while. It will be triggered because it's gonna update here. If you refresh it, you can see that update. Now it's been triggered. Once it is done, if you refresh this page, you're gonna see welcome to Xvision Corp Industries. Yeah, that's been done. You can check here as well. So we're done with that. I think that's everything. If you check the task results now, just try to understand the workflow what we did. It's been successful. Thank you so much for watching.